have you guys heard of gamification? Anybody knows how to gamify what they've been working on or something in their community? So if you think about, I don't want to say it through a church lens because this could offend some people, but there is gamification in church too. But gamifying something when you hit another level, and actually I'll have to get the exact number podcast that we did earlier this summer. We talked all about gaming through the lens of the kingdom and how ultimately all of our goals should be to get closer to Jesus, right? Is ultimately to have that eternal salvation moment that then we get to learn how to walk in tandem with Christ. But any like gamers in the house would know, like, you want to access more weapons. You want to get to new levels. You want in this new sphere to have this new superpower. That's really what it is to be sanctified, right? As you become more like Christ, you unlock layers of intimacy with him and spiritual depth and spiritual wisdom, authority, power, all of those things. That's what the disciples did with Christ when they were here. Everyone on the same page? Yes, you agree? If you don't agree, just shake your head no, and I'll try and be more clear. Okay, we got a lot of yeses in the house. So as we unpack this with Chris, we were recognizing, like, what did that process look like for you in a 2.5 year time frame? Because Chris was just invited to speak again at Founder this year. Last time he kind of played a support role, and this time he'll actually be teaching. And 2.5 years ago, we would have never asked him to do that because he wasn't in the spiritual depth place that he is now. There wasn't friendship, so we really didn't have that iron sharpening iron experience. And he had never set underneath leadership from a teacher perspective because, one, he wasn't even in his faith when Anthony and I first met him. So I'm going to share my screen, and this is literally like back cut edition of what we're going back and forth through the board. So you guys are getting a really like behind the scenes experience right now. For those who are tuning into the podcast, sorry you can't see this, but it's for the intimacy of our community right now. So I'm going to show you guys. But ultimately, there's going to be like levels as you go through this experience with Founder that we're going to implement starting in September, of a reason to be able to say, why am I here? What is this for? What do they want from me? And what can I bring to the table? So level one, think if you're a newbie, is you're a friend of Founder. Okay, how do you become a friend? You're attending. I think all of you guys have attended at least 3 Founder gatherings, and one of those things being cameras on. You had an opportunity to introduce yourself on one of the calls, meaning you're kind of taking up a larger chunk than just like, this is what I did today. You're actually like, this is why I've come. This is what the Lord has told me. You've testified a bit. And that way there's that development of friendship. And I could go and share Josh's testimony to somebody offline. There's this guy at Founder today. He shared this, and it's really been blessing me, right? That's how you get to come into community and friendship with someone. Additionally, you've subscribed to the Founder email list, which all of you guys have done, and you've done a post on your social media of choice. Instagram is just where we hang out the most for Founder Collective, and you follow and tag the social. So it's pretty easy to be a friend, right? It's pretty easy to say, I want to be integrated here. What's going to happen is once you hit these different levels, you're going to get a badge that you can share on social, a badge that you can put on your as seen on different locations, whether it's a stage, because we do consider this a virtual stage. And as that grows, you'll have 4 different badges, and your intimacy with the community and the leadership and FounderCon and or the Academy will also grow. Is everyone following, tracking? Any questions so far? We really want your time here to not just be like, wow, I'm like receiving such wisdom and depth, which we want. It's also to see like, this benefits me as an entrepreneur. This benefits me as a kingdom leader. And these are the ways why, and what we really extracted from Chris to build this out for you all. So as you get to the next one, you're now a disciple of Founder, right? This is literally the same model that Jesus walked with. Hey, come follow me. Just be my friend. I want to lead you. We aren't trying to disciple you. We're trying to let Jesus disciple you. But this is a headship, a leadership experience. So this is where you attend 8 Founder calls. Your camera has to be on for that. Commenting and sharing takeaway posts. So if you're here and you screenshot everyone and you're like, oh my gosh, today Tamara or Lori or Josh or Kelly or Erica, they dropped a bomb on this. Angela said X, Y, and Z, and it really blessed me. Heather brought the word today. Like, this is where you get to take that friendship, turn it into discipleship here online and beyond. And then also bringing people in, right? As a disciple, that's ultimately what you're doing. You're trying to point people back to Jesus. So maybe you know another isolated leader. Maybe you know a stay-at-home mom who's just like, I am so lonely. I am exhausted. I need somewhere to go that I can just be heard or seen or loved on. I can receive whatever that looks like for the people in need. And then also to volunteer as a featured conversation starter. And that's going to look like you actually taking the limelight and you being the one of like, hey, Tamara, and Anthony, this week I was really processing this. Do you mind if I take the conversation this way? And that can be something that's done offline before this actually starts, so we're all on one accord. There's perks to every single level, just as much as there is just like a little badge we mentioned. We're actually going to launch a founder collective directory. And the directory was an idea from the conference so that people could all know each other's contact information and get in touch. Because you just, in 2.5 days, it might seem like a long time, but it's impossible to connect deeply with 120 to 200 people. So now you actually have access to those people simply by being in the room and paying for a ticket, or if you can't come to the conference, by being a level 2 disciple and founder. So that means that your links and all of the things that you guys are investing to grow in and what God has called you to are now going to be accessible to the greater population of the Founder Collective community. Does that help you? Does that help your mission? I hope it does. I hope you're being seen in this moment to say, okay, I see where we're going here. This is great. In addition to our list, right now we have about 4,200 people on our email list. You will get shout outs saying we have a new disciple, and that person will get an individual bio shout out to the entire email list as well as to our Instagram social community, so that you get a shout out of saying, hey, we are now a collaborator with this person, and you're going to have that collaboration opportunity via the social digital space as well, so you can share it on your socials. Additionally, we're going to do a quarterly private disciple roundtable. It's going to be specified with an expert that's going to come in to speak and teach to each of you guys as leaders, and a wellspring that is beyond just our Wednesday calls. There's going to be an agenda connected to it, an actual topic, so you'll know what exactly we're going to be discussing and what you'll be learning to be able to apply. Anthony and I both have some incredible people within our connections, and you might too. So if there's any experts that you're like, Tamara, if this person would be awesome to have come talk to the leaders for the Disciple Roundtable, that'd be awesome. So shoot them my way. But as it grows, you see there's more access, as we talk about often on the calls. There's more authority as you walk into the room, whether it's FounderCon or the virtual room here, and you are gaining experience and new contacts that you otherwise didn't have. Are you feeling good about this? That's only level 2, and there's 2 more levels. So we're gamifying it. So we're turning something that is common, and this would be happening anyway, but we're ultimately turning it into like, hey, this is on you guys. You guys make what you want this experience to be, and you guys activate as much as you want to activate. You can't access a new level unless what? You show up to game. So gamification is actually taking that and employing it and deploying it into your community structure, so people have a goal that they can set out and say, I want to be a fellow. Well, eventually, as Chris is, he's kind of the first to come to this place, I want to be a multiplier. And the multiplier allows you to lead a full founder table session or workshop at the conference, and gives you an opportunity to potentially even speak on stage. Would that help your platform? Would that help your desire to share your message and get your movement to the masses? Yeah, it would, right? And in order to access that, you've brought 5 guests over a duration of time. You've attended the call 25 plus times on camera, and you've already led a full round table session or workshop at FounderCon in the past. And you've had an exclusive dedicated podcast interview, which is dedicated specifically to us having a conversation with you. We're going to set those times up that you guys will be able to say yes to that if you've already hit this level. And then completing all of the other prior steps. I kind of glazed over being a fellow, but essentially the same kind of concepts, just lesser access points. So eventually, and we already have all of this built out, eventually you will have 4 promos, 4 seals saying, I have been a fellow, a friend, a fellow, a disciple, and now a multiplier of Founder. So if someone's looking at your page and they're like, oh, what has Tamara done with her time? Where is she spending her energy? Where has she been seen? And they would say, oh, wow, she's a multiplier at Founder. That's incredible. And she now has a speaking opportunity there. We wanted to give what we have from a resource perspective back to you beyond just the wellspring of spiritual goodness that God has given us. I would love to hear thoughts. What are you processing? Is it confusing?